Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today? I am so glad that we're here together. And of course, it's good to be back live after a long time. Thank you indeed. And of course, as you can see, new look Story Time, but the same beautiful material, same beautiful books that we'll be reading, and of course, new ones as well. But of course, just happy to be here. And I hope that you had a lovely 2 weeks while we were away and got to enjoy all the books that we were rerunning, and of course the beautiful interviews as well, informative interviews that we did, including one with Angela Konko. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Good to see you. Happy to be here with you. And there's a lot of adjustments still going on after moving to the new place. And so hopefully, like everything stabilizes soon and we're up and running and used in our usual groove. Good to see you all. Thank you for being here. Please let us know that you're here for Story Time and let us know where you're joining us from. And of course, if anybody's joining in with you, let us know who they are. Thank you so much. So indeed, we can say hi to them. Good morning to you and welcome to Story Time. This week, we'll be focusing on books about love. Yes, that beautiful thing. And so we'll be looking at books like that. And of course, we're starting off this week with this beautiful one coming to you from Barbara Lavallee and Barbara M. Joosse. And this one is called Papa, Do You Love Me? Yes, indeed. We are all the way out in the Serengeti today, out in Kenya. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I am glad that we're here. And of course, we'll be reading Evelyn Del Rey Moves Away. That one particularly because there's a lot of movement happening in my life as well. And so just wanted to share that a little bit. And of course, the excitement and also the little anxiety that comes with that. But I'm excited overall. Great place that we're in. And loving it. Changed jobs, so that was also a big one, but doing okay. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time and welcome. Please let us know where you're joining from and who is joining in with you. Let us see one more time who is with us today, ready to enjoy our wonderful story. Good morning to you, Jessica. How are you doing? And of course, Ali Amin out in Washington. Oh my goodness. Welcome back indeed. I missed you so much. Thank you for joining in and glad that you're here with us today on Story Time. Welcome. Good morning to you, Jessica and Ali Amin, sending you love and hugs. Thank you for being here today. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Missed you. Thank you. Oh, yes. Please stay tuned, stay glued. That is happening, and we'll definitely be keeping you updated with all the latest information about that. Thank you so much for asking, and of course, looking forward to that time. Thank you. All dates and everything once finalized will definitely be communicated. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Good morning morning to you. Ali Amin and Jessica one more time. Sarah and Nathan, good morning to you. And of course, Amanda out in Illinois. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely missed you. So I was happy to see our friends again and your new place. Yes, indeed. Maybe once all the unboxing is done, there might be a tour. Who knows? Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime indeed. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, and I'm glad that you're here too. Amanda, Sarah, and Nathan, and just sending you love. I know that there was lots of rain and floods and stuff out in St. Louis, kind of close near you, so I hope that you are okay. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully this is a sign that everything is okay with you. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. I am glad you're here. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Hugs. So good to be back. So good to be back here together on the Storytime, not couch today, on the Storytime chair today, Storytime set today. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Good morning to you, Chelsea Lawrence. How are you doing? Lucas and Obreya, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us from Plagerville, Texas. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you and welcome. And of course, if this is your first time, Lucas and Obreya, well, we appreciate you and thank you indeed for joining in Storytime, and hope to see you many more of our story times. Yes, indeed. And remember too that if you miss Storytime live, you can catch the recording at 11 a.m. Pacific time, but you can also catch us in our archives on YouTube, Facebook, as well as at storytimewithmrlimata.com. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Storytime. Glad you're here. Jessica, indeed, looking forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And also just one more thing, Chelsea and Lucas and Obreya, please let me know if I said your names correctly, especially Obreya. I feel like I am not doing it justice right now. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, we'll be getting started with our story for today. Papa, do you love me? And this one is coming to you from Barbara M. Joosse and Barbara Lavallee. And of course, it's published and being read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to you indeed for being here with us on Storytime. And a big thank you to Chronicle Books for allowing us to read their books right here on Storytime. All right, get ready. Catch me on the other side of this short break when we come back for our story for today. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist, and I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. Lamata are so important.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. And indeed, good morning to you as well, Bolden, out there in Burlington, Vermont. Thank you so much for joining in. And indeed, books, reading, and all promotions that happen around literacy are very important. And hopefully we continue to provide access to such material. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Papa, do you love me? Welcome back. This one coming to you from Barbara M. Joosse and illustrations by Barbara Lavallee. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Adjusting to the new place here. All right, there we go. Papa, do you love me? This one written by Barbara M. Joosse and illustrations by Barbara Lavallee. And of course, published and read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Papa, do you love me? You came from your mama, whom I love, your grandpapas and grandmamas, whom I honor, and from me, you're my tender heart, and I love you. Oh. Such good words to hear, aren't they? And I love you. You are my tender heart. How much? I love you more than the warrior loves to leap, more than the bush baby loves the moon, more than the elder loves his stories. Oh, that is definitely a lot of love. Well, how long? I will love you as long as the wildebeest run on the Mara, the hippopotamus wallows in the mud, and the Serengeti rose to the sky. I will love you as long as the wildebeest run on the Mara, the hippopotamus wallows in the mud, and the Serengeti rose to the sky. Papa, what would you do if I was hot? We would rest under a green heart tree. Oh, that does sound good, doesn't it? We would rest under a green heart tree. What if the sun scorched the leaves and they dropped off the branches? What would we do then? Then I would stretch out my blanket till you were cool in my shade. Oh, I would stretch out my blanket till you were cool in my shade. Oh. What if I was thirsty? You would drink water from the calabash. What if the calabash was dry? You would fill it from the river. What if the river was dusty and the creek was cracked? What would you do then? What would you do, Papa? I would teach you to look for hidden streams and push through dry earth until you reached water. Then, tender heart, we would splash sweet water over our tongues. I would teach you to look for hidden streams and push through dry earth until you reach water. Then, tender heart, we would splash sweet water over our tongues. That does sound refreshing, doesn't it? Papa, what if I was the herd boy? I would be proud. What if I was the head boy and I ate roasted meat till my belly was round and I tried to stay awake and I tried to guard the cattle, but my eyelids got drowsy? What would you do then, Papa? Then I'll show you how to stay awake. Together we would sing to the full white moon and dance to the sweep of stars until your eyes were bright. Then I would show you how to stay awake. Together we would sing to the full white moon and dance to the sweep of stars until your eyes were bright. What if I fell asleep anyway and hyenas crept in and killed a cow and it was my birthright cow? What would you do then, Papa? Well, then, tender heart, I would be angry, but still I would love you. Then, tender heart, I would be angry, but still I would love you. What if I was afraid? I would wrap my arms around you so you could hear my heartbeat like a drum. Bum, da-dum, bum, da-dum. I would wrap my arms around you so you could hear my heartbeat like a drum. What if the hyenas blinked yellow eyes at me? We would throw back our heads and howl. Howl! Till they slunk away. Oh, I want to try that one more time. What if the hyenas blinked their yellow eyes at me? We would throw back our heads and howl. Howl! Till they slunk away. What if a lion, proud in our camp, swished his tail and rambled for food, and I was his food? Then, tender heart, I would shelter you with my shield. I'll shake my spear at the beast till his great mane trembled and he cowered in his den. Yes, I would. Then, tender heart, I would shelter you with my shield. I would shake my spear at the beast till his great mane trembled and he cowered to his den. I will care for you, love you, and teach you always, because I am your papa and you are my tender heart. Oh, I will care for you, love you, and teach you always, because I am your papa and you are my tender heart. The end. And of course, if you remember when we read this book, there are a few glossary words there in the back that we can talk about and indeed get to share. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am so glad that you're here. We won't be going into those today, and I hope that you can find this book at your local library and indeed find it wherever you find books and continue to enjoy it. And of course, that question, that beautiful, beautiful question, but also so important. Papa, do you love me? Yes, do you love me? And I love these words at the end here. And I hope that, you know, all of us get to hear those words from somebody and I say, I will care for you, love you, and teach you always. And this was story time for today. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am so glad that we're here. It feels so good to be back together and indeed, be hearing more stories, enjoy more stories, and please look forward to brand new books coming up as well. There's definitely new titles coming in from different publishers, different authors, so looking forward to showcase those here too on Storytime. Today is mostly just thankful to be here with you all and indeed enjoy this lovely day. And like I say always, this is my happy place, and this is, you know, a place that I appreciate so much. The community that we have here, the encouragement that we have for each other, and indeed the love and care that we show for each other. I hope that indeed today everybody continues to feel love as we go through this week talking about love. I hope that you feel it in your lives. I hope that you feel it in your communities, in your neighborhoods, and of course within your families as well. And of course here too at Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am glad that you are here. And of course, we are back again tomorrow with more Storytime. And tomorrow we'll bring back Evelyn Del Rey is moving away. And this one is just really celebrating and also acknowledging the little bit of anxiety that I've had about the move and about, you know, like changing set for Storytime and all those things. And but yes, it feels good right now, and of course feels even better being back here with you all on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please join me again tomorrow for more Storytime as Evelyn Del Rey comes back to Storytime. Yes, indeed. This one from Meg Medina and Sonia Sanchez will be coming to you, and of course we will be reading with permission of Candlewick impressed. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime today. So glad that we're here together. I am absolutely thrilled to be back and indeed sending you love, love, love and hugs and everything good. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Absolutely missed you. Thank you for all the lovely comments while we were away. It has been amazing to see them. Of course, missed you a great deal. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Okay, here we go. Pronunciations, love it. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely appreciate it. Umbrella, thank you so much. Umbrella, thank you so much for being here on Storytime today. I promise I will practice and practice, and very soon it'll be perfect. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And of course, from Flowerville, thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad that you are here with us on Storytime. Yes, indeed. Beautiful, beautiful story indeed. Eva Beleche, always appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad that you're here, joining us right here from Oakland. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope indeed that you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. Lovely to meet you today, Chelsea, Obriella, and of course, Lucas. I appreciate you. I will practice, and tomorrow or the next day, I will definitely have the name down. Thank you so much for joining in today. And of course, to everybody else that joined us, Sarah and Nathan, and of course, Amanda West, thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Jessica out in Washington, and Ali Amin, thank you so much for joining in, and please do stay tuned for that Washington visit coming up super soon. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. I am glad that you're here. This has been Storytime for today. Please do join me again tomorrow for more Storytime. Thank you for being here. Much love to all of you, and I will see you again for another exciting reading of Evelyn Del Rey Comes Back to Storytime. I am glad indeed to have that one here with us tomorrow. Please be safe, and of course, if look out, just check the weather before you go out. And if it is raining, like out here in Oakland, I hope that you're able to stay dry. Don't forget your umbrella and everything else that you need. If it is hot, the sun is out, remember your sunscreen. Remember all, your water bottles and everything that you need to stay hydrated and indeed stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Much love from me. Hugs, and I will see you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Brings to life your favorites, brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some of people look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of the stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Read me all of the stories. Read me all of the stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of the stories. Read me all of the stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.